Hey everybody, welcome to the webinar for Friday, August 8th. We're going to talk about running MultiTracks with your iPad or your iPhone using Loop Community Prime. We're going to get started in about 5 minutes. If you're watching, go ahead and introduce yourself in the chat box and where you're from, and we'll get started here in a few minutes.
Intro, 2, 3, 4. Band, 2, 3, 4.
Hey everybody, welcome to this webinar. We're going to talk about how to use your iPad, your iPhone to play back multi-tracks and click tracks in your live performance. And specifically, we're going to use our free app from Loop Community called Prime. And this is available for iPhone and iPad or iPod. And the whole idea of this app is really to just give you what you need for running tracks in a live performance. Not all the extra bells and whistles that you probably won't use, but we wanted to build an app that really just gave you what you needed to get the job done. And so it's a free app. You can download it in the App Store. Just search for Loop Community Prime. And I've got my iPad pulled up right here so you can kind of see what we're doing. But you can download the app, you can log in, create a free account. And what's really cool about this is that any track that you purchase from Loop Community will show up in your app automatically as long as you log in with the same account. So we can talk more about this a little bit later, but if you search for a song, and let's just say maybe we're looking for Alive by Young and Free, you can click on Alive. If you open this up and go to details, whether you buy the split track or the multi-track, both of them show up as a full multi-track in Prime. And we can talk more about that later. But basically what that means is any track you buy, it will automatically show up. So you log into the app and this song will show up into your account. You don't have to do any sort of extra importing or file transfers or anything like that. It's just simple. So we can talk about that more later, but let's just look at the app and what we're looking at here. So over in the top left corner of the screen, let me go and close this out. On the top left corner of the screen, there's a button that says Load Setlist. So I can click Load Setlist. This is your setlist manager where you can store setlists for different events. So I'm going to go to Create New Setlist. I'm going to call this, let's just name it August 8th, 2014. But you could put a custom name in there if you wanted to. We're just going to keep it like that. And we'll hit Enter. And it gives us a blank set list. And now there's a button here that says Add Songs. I can click Add Songs, and it's going to pull up my song library. So again, these are all the songs that I've purchased in my Loop Community account. So anything that has a blue check mark next to it means that it's been downloaded to the device already. So let's just start with one of those. Let's just say we're going to look at Found in You. So I'm going to click on that. It's going to add it to my set list. My set list is over here on the right hand side, and on the left hand side of the screen we've got all these different audio faders. We can turn things up and turn things down. These are your different instruments. Let's click Add Songs, and we're going to add another song to our set list. We're going to do let's scroll down. Let's do Only King Forever by Elevation Worship, and let's add another one. Let's add This Is Amazing Grace by Phil Wickham. Scroll all the way down and click it. Now, okay, we've got 3 songs in our set. If you wanted to reorder your set, you could just hit the Edit Setlist button and then just click and drag and move those songs around, which is very easy to do. And then hit Done. But let's look at This Is Amazing Grace. So I could hit play here, and I've got a, let me go and turn up the volume. I've got a master volume fader here. If I turn this up and turn this down, it turns up and down the volume of all of my tracks. Your red tracks are your click and cues. So I just soloed those so we can listen to them.
Verse 2, 3, 4.
But these are your click and cues, and these are automatically panned for you out of the left-hand side of your headphone jack. We'll talk about audio routing in a little bit. But those are panned out of the left-hand side of your headphone jack. And then all the blue tracks, those are your actual instrument tracks. And they're panned out of the right-hand side of your headphone jack. So what's cool about this is every track you can turn up and turn down. You can solo them, turn it up. So you can kind of make your own mix. If you just want acoustic and drums, then you've got just acoustic and drums.
Chorus 2, 3, 4.
Maybe you want some programming in there. Or just the bass. What's cool about this is that if, let's just say maybe someone in your band is missing, your drummer didn't show up, or your bass player didn't show up, then you could just turn up the bass track and just play along with that and turn down any other instrument that you already have in your band. So the blue tracks are automatically panned left, out of your headphone jack, and the red tracks, which are the clicking cues, are automatically panned right. And those are the tracks that you're going to send to your band, because they want to. Your band needs to hear the click in the cues, so they know where in the song you are. It's really important. So we can adjust each track individually. We can turn them on and off. We can solo them if you want. And also you've got the master volume fader here, where you can turn up and turn down the volume of all the tracks. So let's look at Only King Forever and hit play.
Band 3, 4.
Important thing to know is that your track settings are saved when you go to another song. So if I go back to our second song and then come back to Only King Forever, all of my mixer settings were saved, which is really nice because that way you're not having to redo it every time. Up here you can click and drag to skip ahead throughout the song if you need to. Skip ahead. There's the stop button. You can pause it in the middle if you want and then play again from where you left off. And then these arrows over here are forward and back. So you can go back in your set list to go to our second song. We can go forward in our set list. And then over here in the bottom right hand corner, we can actually change the tempo and the key of our song, which is amazing. So let's first check out the tempo. If you want to speed it up, just speed it up or slow it down. You can also change the key. Let's just say it's too high and you want to lower it.
4, 2, 3, 4.
Or raise it up.
Intro.
So we made it really simple for you to be able to change the tempo, to change the key of any of your tracks. Just want to make it easy, right? Okay, so also there's a little icon next to each song that has a little down arrow. If you turn that on, what that's called is auto advance. So when you get to the end of the song, what that means is it's going to automatically go to the next song and play. So let's go ahead and go to the end of our first song and I'll let you see how this works. So that song is ending, and here comes, it's going to auto go right into the next song. So you could have your entire set list set up so it just flows right through. Now let's just say that you've got a, let's just say that you don't have tracks for a song but you want to play to a click track. Well, we can click Add Songs, and at the top of that screen there's a little icon that says Add Click Track. So now we can name the name of our song. So let's just say we're going to do How Great Is Our God. And we don't have a tracks for it, but we're going to play to a click. And we're going to do it at 76 BPM, and we're going to do it at 4/4. You can choose your time signature. Then hit Done, and when you hit play, it's going to give you just a click. You can, on the fly, change the tempo down here if you need to speed it up, or if you need to change the time signature. So Prime can be used as a metronome app for your band, which is great. Let's talk about the MIDI side of things. So you can actually control your entire set list with using a MIDI controller. And what we're going to do is we're just going to use an adapter that you can get from Apple. And what it does is it just adds a USB jack to your iPad or your iPhone. You can buy that adapter from the Apple Store or online. And then you just plug in your MIDI device. Maybe it's a keyboard, maybe it's some sort of trigger pad, maybe it's the Looptimus foot controller, which is what I'm going to plug in right now. So let me go ahead and plug that in. By the way, if you guys have any questions at all as I go through this, just type it into the comment box and I'll try to address them. Alright, so I'm going to plug it in. In the top left side of the screen, you're going to see it say MIDI connected. Or it says Loopdim is connected, even better. And now what I can do is I can click on the MIDI button and it will show me the mappings for all the different controls here. So what we've done is we've actually pre-mapped Loopdim for you. So there's a default mapping and you can use that if you'd like. But let's just say we want to map it on our own. So I'm going to hit erase. And what that's going to do is going to clear all of the MIDI mapping. And now I can map whatever button I want to whatever control I want. So I'm going to click on This Is Amazing Grace, and I'm going to hit button 1 on my Looptimus, and it assigned that button to that song. If you're familiar with Ableton Live, this works very similar. So Found and Used can be button 2. I'm going to click on Only King Forever, it's button 3. And let's make our stop button the stop button on Looptimus. And also, I want to actually add in, I'm going to have pitch up and pitch down. So this button on my Looptimus is going to be pitch up, and this one's, or tempo up, and this one's going to be down. And then this one's going to be pitch up, and this one's going to be pitch down. And I also have an expression pedal plugged in to my Looptimus. And I could map that to any of these faders here, which is really cool. But I'm actually going to map the expression pedal or the volume pedal to the master. So now, with my foot, I'm using the expression pedal and turning up and down this master control. I can leave MIDI mode, and now my settings are saved. So I can move this up and down with, I'm using my foot on the pedal. And let's go back to Looptimus. I'm going to hit button 1, and it's going to start song 1.
Intro 2,
Cool.
3, 4.
Again, I can turn down the master to, if I want to fade that in. I can hit stop on my Looptimus and it'll stop. Let's do button 2 and it's going to start song 2. Again, I can turn down the master with my foot controller. Song 3 for button 3 and then hit stop.
Bam.
And again, if I want to change the tempo, I can go into, I have those mapped on my controller. I can slow it down or change the key if you wanted. So we're really just trying to make this very, very simple for you. Very easy. Add set lists, add click track, turn things up, turn things down. Let me show you a diagram real quick of how you would actually hook this up to your sound system. So we're going to just go to Loop Community. I'm going to go to, at the top of the screen, I'm going to go to Training and go to Loop University. And in Loop University, there's a diagram in here called Basic Hookup Diagram. I'm going to click on that. And this is how we're going to hook it up. Now just pretend that this laptop is your iPad or your iPhone. You're just going to come out of your iPad and there's going to be a, you're just going to get a headphone jack or a headphone cable. You can get this cable for like $3 on Amazon. You're going to plug that into the headphone jack of your iPad, and then the click, remember I said all those red tracks? Those are automatically panned left, and the blue tracks are automatically panned right. So this cable basically takes your headphone jack and splits it into two sides, the left side and the right side. You're going to get two direct boxes, one for your click and one for your loop. You're going to plug the click in, plug the loop in, and the loop you're going to send to the front of house or the soundboard and tell your sound guy to turn it up. You have to think of Prime now as another instrument in your band. And then your click, you're going to get that to your band. However you do, maybe you do in your monitors, or maybe you can just send this directly to your drummer so he can stay on the click. Because it's important you stay on the click so that everybody's in time with one another. So that's how you would hook it up. Another really cool feature of Prime is that we are... let me show you something. Oops, I just hit something with my watch. Is something that I want to show you, and this is called Loop Cloud. And Loop Cloud is free storage for all of your tracks in Prime. What this means is, like we were talking about earlier, is if you go to Loop Community and you purchase a track, it automatically shows up in the app for you. You don't have to do anything. However, if you make your own tracks, or maybe you purchase them from somewhere else, you acquire them from somewhere else, you can still use those tracks in Prime, whether you make them or you get them from somewhere else. And that's where Loop Cloud comes in. You can upload all of your tracks to your Loop Cloud account, and those tracks will show up in Prime. So to do this, all you do is you go to loopcommunity.com, and at the top of the screen there's a button that says Upload. And you're going to choose the Prime icon and hit Upload Tracks. And all you do is you just zip up all of those audio files. You name it, put the artist name, the key, and the BPM, and hit Submit. And within about 2 minutes, all of your tracks are going to automatically show up in your Loop Cloud account. Now, to manage your Loop Cloud account, you need to go to your account settings, click over here, there's going to be a link that says Loop Cloud, and here it's going to show you all of the songs that you have imported into your Loop Community account. And you can hide them, you can delete them, or you can choose to show them in Prime. So let's just say maybe you uploaded a few and you're like, yeah, those are duds, I don't want to do them anymore. You can delete them. So you can kind of manage all of your tracks here within your account portal. The great thing about Loop Cloud is that it's free storage for all of your tracks. So let's go ahead and look at a few questions here. So Jeremy says, I love the simplicity of Prime, but I continue to use Ableton because of the volume difference between tracks. Is there a way to normalize between songs? Great question. And that is why we added this master fader here. So you can actually listen to a song and set the volume for that song. Maybe it's quieter or louder than others. And then another song, you could listen to it again and set the volume for that song. So that's where the master fader comes in. Great question, Jeremy. Paul says, for those of us that haven't purchased a Loop device yet, do you know if the soft step would work with the USB into iPad? Yes. Any MIDI controller will work with Prime. So you just plug it in. As long as it can send MIDI notes, Prime will be able to see it. So great question. So just to say, I might be saying this again twice, but what's really great is that with Loop Community, any track that you download or purchase will automatically show up in your account. You don't have to upload it. You just purchase it, and as long as you log in with the same account, it'll show up in your Prime account. So you can search for a song, and so let's just say we're looking for This Is Amazing Grace, like that track I was just using. So look for This Is Amazing Grace. Let's find the one we want. We want the Phil Wickham version. Okay, so you can hit details once you find one that you like. And notice that both of these products say full multi-track or full track available in Prime. So all you need to purchase is this split track, the $9.99. So for $10 you can get the full song in Prime. You can also download the original master tracks if you want by just downloading the split track. And then again, if you have any tracks that maybe you make or you download them from somewhere else, you can just click Upload and upload them to your Loop Cloud account. So hopefully that helps you out. So if you want more information, if you go to Tools and go to Prime, you can find the app here. You can find a video. You can see some frequently asked questions. Also, if you're interested in Looptimus, we're actually starting to ship those this month. So you should get your order in and get your name on the list. We're going to start shipping those controllers out here very soon. So I'm going to turn some music on. If you guys have any questions at all, go ahead and type them into the comment box. I'll try to answer them. Otherwise, hopefully this has been helpful to you. And thanks for being a part of Loop Community. If you have any questions at all, feel free to let us know at Loop Community. We're on Twitter, Facebook. You can email us. But if you have any questions at all, let us know. I'm going to play some music now. If you have any questions, I'll stick around for a few minutes.
Band 3, 4. Verse 3, 4. Three, 4.
All right, guys, thanks for coming. I'm going to sign off. Check out our other webinars on our YouTube channel and loopcommunity.com. See ya.